Good evening. My name is Dr. John Sebastian. I'm the Vice President, and I have a fan club, the Vice President for Mission and Ministry at Loyola Marymount University, and I'm so thrilled to be able to welcome each of you here on this extraordinary occasion for Anima Mundi. Never before have we attempted something like what you are about to witness, a multimedia, multi-sensory celebration of the unique spirit that animates this place. A spirit born of the intermingling of the three religious congregations, the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange, and the Society of Jesus, who came together 50 years ago to launch here what was at that time an unlikely endeavor, but that has since become a shining example of what happens when tradition meets innovation to ignite a brighter world. As part of LMU's recognition of our history, location, and relationship to the indigenous communities in Los Angeles, we begin this evening by acknowledging the Tongva peoples as the traditional land caretakers of Tovaangar, the Los Angeles Basin and Southern Channel Islands, and the presence of LMU on this traditional and unceded land. We are grateful to live, learn, and create in this place. Tonight, you will be treated to a first-of-its-kind experience here on the Bluff. A project of this scale is not one that happens without the creative contributions and patient partnership of a great many people. Too many people, in fact, to name here individually without adding substantially to the length of the program. And I know you're a little bit cold and wet, so we appreciate your patience with that. So instead, you should just know that there is scarcely an office on this campus, from facilities management and campus safety, to marketing and communications and university advancement, from campus ministry and student leadership and development, to academic affairs and athletics, that hasn't contributed abundantly, vigorously, and cheerfully to bringing Anima Mundi to life. I want you also to know how grateful we are for your presence here this evening, especially if you're a visitor to our campus. I want to invite all of you to join us for a reception following this evening's event in St. Robert's Auditorium, which is at the opposite end of the building behind you and on the left. I can't see because of the lights, but I'm sure it's there. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Timothy Law Snyder, President of Loyola Marymount University, and most importantly for this evening's proceedings, the composer of all the music you will hear tonight. President Snyder has been a dedicated professor and academic administrator at Jesuit universities for over 30 years. Under his leadership, LMU seeks to ignite a brighter world through inclusivity, creativity, and by extending our global reach with impact. Guided by the university's mission, he inspires the community to pursue new heights of excellence, as evidenced by record-setting enrollments, exceeding fundraising goals, and expanding the university's leadership in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and in anti-racism programs. Among President Snyder's professional pursuits, as you will soon learn, he is a musician, writing, arranging, recording, mastering, and producing his own music, which you can find at lmu.edu/SnyderTunes. Please join me in warmly welcoming my friend, my colleague, and one of the creators of this evening's production, President and Professor Timothy Law Snyder.
Vice President Sebastian, you're one of the few who turns the page. Hey, did you have a good birthday? It's beautiful. Welcome to LMU, everybody. How you feeling? That is beautiful. Welcome to the celebration of the 50th anniversary of our merger. I welcome particularly our LMU trustees and regents who are with us this evening. Tonight, we honor the richness of our heritage, grounded in the goals, the mission, and the wisdom of the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange, and the Society of Jesus, with an emphasis on our collaboration, our spirit, and our hopes in navigating our human and universal challenges. Warning, the experience here is a little bit tangible in terms of its cosmicity, and we owe that to the incandescent genius of Professor José García Moreno, with whom I have been honored to work alongside in bringing the music and some of the images, if you will, to a greater life. And then this evening, the amazing John Flaherty will be with us as well, conducting our chorale. You'll see them. They'll appear soon. They rise from the ground. But I have to tell you, working with José and John has been one of the greatest thrills of my life. To see creators at this level, geniuses at this level, it's just a jaw-dropping experience. And of course, this was all rendered possible through the thoughtful leadership of Vice President for Mission and Ministry, John Sebastian. You'll hear John's voice in some of the textual elements of this evening's program. Professor José García Moreno is the creative genius behind Anima Mundi. He is professor of animation at the number 5 in the country, according to the RAP-ranked School of Film and Television. He is special assistant to the provost, and he is the director of the Academy of Catholic Thought and Imagination. Professor García Moreno's career is one of brilliant accomplishments and creations. He indeed is visionary to the core. Anybody who's ever worked with him knows that. He is also a renowned, generous teacher. So much of tonight's work was done by his current and former students. He is a thoughtful artist, a spellbinding storyteller, and he has a beautiful soul that comes through in each of his creations, and they've been exhibited across the globe. A Fulbright scholar, a MacArthur Foundation grant recipient, named one of the academic leaders of the world by the Instituto Tecnológico de Estudios Superiores. Professor García Moreno's body of work is without equal and is one for the history books, literally. He is featured in the influential Animation, A World History by Gian Alberto Bendazzi. Professor García Moreno has used his role with ACTI to champion interdisciplinary initiatives that offer innovative, and I think fairly stated, practical approaches to pressing societal challenges by engaging the rich resources of Catholic thought and imagination while serving as a vibrant hub for scholarship and creative outreach. So please welcome the creator, the director of Anima Mundi, my friend, Professor José García Moreno.
Thank you, Tim. Buenas noches, good evening. Buenas noches. I'll be brief. Hopefully the show will do the talking. I am an extremely lucky man. I had loving parents, and now I have a family that I love and that loves me back. And it doesn't get any better than that. Just like that song that I heard when I was a little kid. And then one day, a magic day, he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, fool and kings, this he said to me, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Love is everything that matters. Love is the commandment. Love is the law. And this project is the product of a labor of love, a collaboration, and it's honoring a collaboration. And the merger that we're celebrating is precisely that. Thank you all, the animators, the singers, the musicians, the designers, the videographers that are here with us tonight, and all of you who have made Anima Mundi possible with your support and generosity. Your love for this project has turned this journey into such a tremendous joy. Thank you. So I guess we're ready as long as we move the podium. Thank you.
This story, like many others, starts with a line. A line is a measure and the distance between you and me. It determines how far away we are from each other. If you and I stood on opposite sides of this line, we could measure the distance between us using a fundamental principle of Euclidean geometry. We find that midpoint by intersecting our areas as if our two auras were to merge into a single common area. The Greeks named this intersection the Vesica Piscis. Now, imagine if the past was on one side of the line and the future on the other. Their intersection would be no other than the present. In a way, it suggests that the present is an intersection where the past persists and the future is already in motion. The Vesica Piscis was known through time by other names, in other cultures, in other myths, and in other stories. It was called the birth canal, the almond, the eye, the fish, the seed of life. If the seed of life is set in motion, it will turn into a petal that rotates until it completes the flower of life. Multiplying the flower reveals a hexagonal grid, showing itself as a brick of a temple, a pattern found throughout nature, a structure of beauty and connection. We know now that a flock of birds does not follow an alpha. Instead, they coordinate their motions through small spheres of influence, triggered by the interactions of a single individual with 6 or 7 neighbors. Flocks propagate collective patterns of flight. Spheres of influence that reverberate like murmuration and echo in motion. A multitude of small waves moves the vast ocean. A collective voice of beauty in movement. This story is about collaboration, about the search for a greater good. How close is our bond? How distant are we from each other? If creation was on one side of that line and God was on the other, what would be in the middle? What else could be there but the Anima Mundi, the soul of the world in motion creating waves of beauty? How far from that original wave that started with a bang? Big Bang would be a great way to describe God.
I see your infinite form in every direction, with countless arms, stomachs, faces, and eyes. O Lord of the universe, whose form is the universe itself, I do not see in you any beginning, middle, or end.
「I see your infinite form in every direction, with countless arms, stomachs, faces, and eyes. O Lord of the universe, whose form is the universe itself, I do not see in you any beginning, middle, or end. ' to love and serve in everything. God, Father and Mother of infinite love, we praise you, that all may have life. that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. 5 great elements all have vibration. The tenfold world possesses speech. The 6 sense objects are all letters. The Buddha body is none other than reality itself. Hillel used to say, "If I am not for myself, who is for me? But if I am for myself alone, what am I? And if not now, when?"
One and two and three and four and one and two and three and a four. One and two and three and four and one and two and three. One and two and three and four and a one and two and three and four. One and two and three and four and one and two and three and four. One and two and three and four and one and two and three and four and one and two and three and four and one and two and three and four. One and two and three and four and 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 one and two and three and four.
One of his signs is the heavens and earth, and the diversity of your languages and colors. Surely in this are signs for those of sound knowledge. Everything is connected. No one is saved alone. This most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. But ask now the animals, and they shall teach you, or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all humankind?
What did you have for breakfast? Cigarette and coffee?
Cigarette.
I thought so. Take us over to Lancey's on Powell.